do your homework, see what works for you. But ultimately, when I kind of found my organisation, I knew I wanted a bit more of a structured programme. That was a really great, steep start for me. And yet what I'd also say is, if you look for coaching in Amazon, you can increase your own study and really, broaden your experience and understand more about what coaching is and what coaching isn't through some fantastic resources that are the books on Amazon as well. Hey, it's Lucy Sheridan, the comparison coach. I am sitting here just dead natural on my grey sofa. Thanks for joining me. So a question I get asked such a lot, especially like in direct messages on social media, is how did I get into coaching? How did I start my business? So I want to share with you like my story basically, in case it might help you if you are interested in entering the wellbeing professions, or you are just curious about doing some self-study for yourself, I guess. So I, as you might know, I have always had a difficult relationship with comparison. There I've got plenty of videos on it, so you can catch up on my story one and that'll give you all the dirt on it. But for me, I realised it was getting a bit out of control, and I found myself in the self-help section of the bookshop, and I really loved learning about self-development actually, and understanding what made my brain tick, why my heart felt a certain way. I got to understand myself, and at the same time, I was experiencing and had been going through periods of depression and certainly anxiety off and on. I was working in the advertising industry, and we weren't saving lives or anything, but it was a very highly pressurised environment, job, and the culture was not necessarily always supportive, to say the least. So anything I could do to just get a little bit of space for me and understand myself and try and increase my own confidence and increase my own resources and resilience, I was really interested in at that time. So I had actually no intention of going into coaching as a profession. I wanted to deepen and broaden my study as almost like a passion project for myself, almost like an intellectual hobby, I suppose you could say, is one way of looking at it. So I read loads of self-help books, then ended up going to seminars and signing up to courses, and then I was on Google and then I kind of was looking, I saw a few things that people that I followed were into, and they started talking about life coaching. And for me, I thought life coaching was something that happened by kind of Los Angeles poolsides with celebrities. I didn't know it was something that was you could actually do as a job, and that you could help more people outside of that description. So I hit Google myself and started looking for life coaching training because it looked like it would give me, like I say, that deeper and broader experience of understanding myself too, and so I could be more active and I could do it the weekends as well, because all I was doing was working and then trying to recover from work basically, and I just, like I said, felt like I had no space in my life. So I hit Google, and it was really easy to see that there were lots and lots of different ways that you can learn about life coaching. Some are like 5 CD box sets, some of them are amazing coaching books and manuals which will teach you so much about being a brilliant coach, and then of course there are organisations that will offer you a whole syllabus and a really structured program to study. And that's what I ended up going with. I went to an organisation called the Coaching Academy and really liked them and signed up with them too. They offer free taster weekends all over the country. I went to one in Manchester, and the level of teaching was incredible. And I thought, goodness me, if this is a taste of what the training's going to be, then I've simply got to do this. So I signed up with those guys, but I know lots of other people that have worked with, like for example, the Coaching Federation, or I think it might be called Firewalk Coaching as well. Another coaching organisation in the UK that I know, sorry, can you see me trying to remember what it is? I know a few friends that I've coached with is Animas, I think it's called, and they have got a great reputation. The coaches that I've actually worked with, that maybe they've been my clients and I've helped them grow their businesses, a lot of the really good ones are trained with Animas, so I highly recommend those guys as well. Do your homework, see what works for you, but ultimately when I kind of found my organisation, I knew I wanted a bit more of a structured programme. That was a really great steep start for me. And yet what I'd also say is, if you look for coaching in Amazon, you can increase your own study and really, broaden your experience and understand more about what coaching is and what coaching isn't through some fantastic resources that are the books on Amazon as well. So what I'm not saying is, you can read a few books and then just start your own business. Your path will be yours, and it's down to you to, with integrity, seek out the best training you can. But it's an unregulated industry, so I think it's really down to you to decide which path you want to take when it comes to being the coach that you want to be. I know for me, I wanted to get get as many tools as possible, and now I'm able to teach them to my clients as well. But really, your path is your own. I know I've had a lot of coaching in my life as well. I've invested in that way and never ever regretted it. But I know that I've invested in coaches that have got, like, an MA from Harvard and, so many letters after their name, and they seriously have studied coaching as well as experienced it too. But I've also invested significant sums for people that I know have never really stood in a classroom before and been taught in that way. And I've still experienced a transformation. I've still had the experience that I wanted to have from working with that coach. So be open-minded about it, go forward with integrity, but make sure that you're picking the path that works for you. I think coaching is a natural skill, but it can be developed and supported. And equally, the more knowledge and experience you have, the better style and the better skill that you'll have when it comes to helping your clients too. So like I've said in previous videos, I've been self-employed for 5 years now, coming up to 5 years, and I still go back to what I was taught in those classrooms in Manchester a few years ago. I still go back to my resources and my files to keep me sharp and to keep me on point, because there's lots of misconception about what coaching is and what coaching isn't. That's for another video. But I really want to colour within the lines of what coaching is. It's not counselling, it's not therapy, and that's where I get a bit nervous about people that just set up a coaching business, is that they're not qualified to help and support some people with certain things, and yet they think they are. But that's for another video. I hope this has answered some of your questions if you've been curious about it. And if you have any questions about this, then just meet me in the comments. I'll happily answer them. But yeah, good luck. Hope this is helpful. This is part of my journey. Thanks.